Star citizens, and welcome to another Ship Showdown video where we're gonna make our ship pick. As always, make sure you like or dislike, leave a comment and subscribe, and that will enter you to win our ship of the month. We do a giveaway every month. Or if you're a member, of course, you have that collective 25% chance at winning the ship of the month. This month's ship, I think we'll be able to announce by Friday, if I'm thinking correctly. So either way, it's going to be a good ship, because even if we can't announce that one, I'll replace it with something that's, I'll just say it'll be more expensive than the one that I want to give away this month, and then I'll push that one to next month, and I'll let the winner of this month decide if they want this month's or if they want that ship, just so they don't feel like they got cheated or anything like that, right? So moving on. Today it's gonna be the Fury LX versus the Reclaimer. Now, before we get started, a real quick note about this whole ship showdown thing. Like, all of this stuff is subjective, folks. Like, I'm just a man on the internet talking. All right, you don't have to agree with me. Like, because I keep talking about the ships that I want to win skins, and people are like thinking that that's the only take that anybody should have. No, it's just my take. You can vote on whatever ship you want. Like, I'm just giving you my opinion. That's why I made this YouTube channel, to scream at people. You know, I was tired of screaming into the void. So now I'm screaming out, and you guys are coming to watch it, and I appreciate that. Every single time that I think about people coming to watch this channel, I'm like, wow, I'm really just talking about stuff that I like and giving, my takes about things, and people are really coming to watch it every time I make a video, and it's really freaking cool. But don't take what I say as the word of, don't take it like Orlando's word is law. See, that doesn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. It literally makes me cough. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say my opinion is the opinion. Everybody's welcome to their opinions. Vote on the ship if you want it for the skin. Vote on the ship if you want it because you own it. Vote on the ship if you want it just because you think it looks better. Vote on a ship just because you don't like another ship. That's all up to you. But I'm going to tell you why I'm voting on my ships and why I think each ship should win. It's okay to disagree. That's okay. That's what the internet is for. I'm pretty sure that the inventor of the internet was like, I just want a place where people can just go and disagree with each other loudly. And that was the whole premise. It's not to connect people or anything. It was just go disagree. So yes, you may not agree with my process of choosing a ship that deserves a skin, and that's perfectly fine. You can vote for whatever ship you want. The ship I wanted to get a skin already has a skin. At this point, I'm just playing, I'm playing for, a second skin at this point. So I'm good. All of my ships have won. Now hold on, I want to caveat this, because if you're just upset that your ship lost, I want to remind you of how many of my ships lost. The C1 Spirit I wanted to win, but I wanted the Steve to win. It lost. I wanted the Steve to beat the C1 Spirit. I wanted the Steve to make it to the semifinals. It lost. I wanted the 890 jump to at least make it to round 2. It lost. The Terrapin, I wanted that ship to win. I wanted the M50 to make it to the semifinals. It lost in the first round. I wanted the Defender to either make it to the semifinals or at the very least make it to the second round. It lost. I wanted the F7C to make it either to the second round or the semifinals. It lost. Look at all these losses I took. And I'm not like, oh my God, you people, you voted for the other ship. It's just the skin. It's just the skin. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Especially because the Terrapin won. Yes, we're getting a skin. Oh, by the way, I bought a Terrapin. If you didn't catch that, I bought a Terrapin. So now I am the proud owner of a Terrapin. I only had to spend $10 of real money. I could have used credit, but it was like a weird thing where I wanted to save a certain amount of credit for something else. So don't worry about that. But know that I didn't just go and plop $220 on a Terrapin. Okay, there you have it. I bought a Terrapin though, so I am officially a Terrapin owner. Now there's people who are like, well, why a Terrapin? Well, I think the Terrapin has value. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why I think it has value, but remember, well, I guess you guys wouldn't know this about me, but the Terrapin was one of the first ships I bought when I seriously started buying ships. So like I bought my first ship, I think in 2017. I had been following since 2016, but I didn't decide to actually enter the game since 2017. And it was like the beginning of 2017. But like I actually I was like one of those people where I'm like, I'm only going to buy one or two ships, I say that now having 26, 27 ships now, and having spent 11K. Yeah, I'm at 11K. I thought it was 10K. It's 11K. Yeah, it's a little crazy. Anyway, one of the first pack I ever bought was the UEE, and you backers will know, one of the few packs that was actually worth its weight were the Explorer packs. So I got the 2948 Explorer pack. I think there was a 2949 Explorer pack that was also really good. But that was the first pack I ever bought. And guess what was in it? The Terrapin. And I kept that ship until I bought that when I think it was like a few months after the pack came out, which I think was either 2018 or 2019. I'm pretty sure it was 2018, but I don't know if I might have bought it like maybe 2 or 3 months after. So it might have been like the beginning of 2019. And I upgraded every other ship in there except the Carrack and the Terrapin. And I only upgraded the Carrack to the Odyssey once the Odyssey came out because it just fit my goals more. And the only reason I upgraded the Terrapin was because I needed an Orion, and at the time I literally didn't have the money to buy an Orion outright. So I needed to upgrade it before, and because I thought the price of the Orion was gonna shoot up like immediately, and it turns out it took 2 or 3 years to shoot up. But I got an Orion at, I think it was $350, and I paid even less than that. I paid, like, because I CCU to it, I think I got it for like 270 or something like that. So, and now it's what, 600, 650, something like that. So that was more so a money move than me not liking the Terrapin. So just to be clear, I've been a Terrapin. I had that Terrapin for 2.5 years. So this isn't like, oh my God, all of a sudden you like the Terrapin. I've loved the Terrapin. Terrapin has been always great. I've always been a fan of that ship. Well, at least since 2018, I can say. But that's 6 years of fandom. And also, it wasn't just me. Obviously, if that ship won, you guys got to pay attention to the community. If you guys go to the community and you go to the hub, the community hub, you'll see that people were making Terrapin like flavor, like not Terrapin flavored, but Terrapin themed dishes. They were making inflatables. They were making all types of crazy stuff for the Terrapin. The Terrapin has a lot of love. You might not be aware of how much love the Terrapin has, but I think this is your wake up call. It just beat the 600i, which is a 2-time Best in Show participant. Like, it has 2 skins from Best in Show. And let's see what the final numbers were. Final numbers, it beat it by 3,000, almost 3,400 votes, or almost 3,500 votes. That's not close. That's not close. The Terrapin has some people who love it. And I think a lot of you are just finding that out for the first time, and you're like, what is this? All things can't be about utility, folks, because if they are, the Mercury is the more useful ship than the C1. The Ursa Medevac is clearly more useful than the STV, but the 890 is more useful than the 600. People don't necessarily have it, but the 890 is more useful than the 600i. And the M50 is more useful than the Fury because the M50 has a jump drive. The Reclaimer won, so but I do think that's the more useful ship. These two, it's debatable which one is more useful, and these two, it's debatable which more is useful. But if we are only voting based on like which ship is the better ship, I mean, the 890 jump probably, or it's either the 890 jump or the Reclaimer. Those are the two most useful ships on this list. I mean, whether you actually like the 890 jump or you like the Reclaimer is irrelevant. Those two ships are objectively the most useful ships. Like, as far as the 890 jump, even if you don't like the luxury stuff, it can still carry a ton of cargo. It can still carry another ship. That is incredibly useful. That is incredibly useful. Like the Reclaimer, it's a capital ship that can do salvage on top of the fact that it can carry a crap ton of cargo. So I'm not saying like those ships should have won. I'm just saying, if what is your standard? Have a standard and stick to it, whatever it is. Are you voting for the best ship? Are you voting for the ship that deserves a skin? Or are you only, just upset when your ship doesn't win? Or are you upset when every ship that you like doesn't win? I don't know. Like, I have a standard. My standard is which ship deserves the skin more. And in my opinion, I think it's the Terrapin. Everybody is welcome to have a different opinion about which one they think deserves the skin more, or to even not even use that metric and use some other metric for what you vote for. So some people say the Gladiator, and I can even accept the argument that the Gladiator deserved it more than the Terrapin, but I feel like it was neck and neck, so I had to just choose one, and so I chose the Terrapin. But I would have loved for both the Terrapin and the Gladiator to make it to the semifinals. So hey, it is what it is. All right, enough talking. Here's my vote. It's the Reclaimer. I think the Reclaimer is going to blow this one away. Let's see. Yeah, not even close. 4,000 votes. Or almost 4,000 votes. But yeah, I saw this coming a mile away. You got to remember, the Reclaimer, I believe, it was either in the top 4 or it won a Best in Show. Nope, it didn't win. It got second place. So the Aegis Reclaimer made it to the final, and the Vulture also made it to the final. So it's not that either one of those are bad. They just had to go up against the ship of the year that year. Like, everybody loved the Caterpillar in 2019. So the Caterpillar won. I think the Carrack finally was released in 2020. It was either 2020. I think it was 2020. So yeah. So of course everybody loved the Carrack. The Carrack was one of the most sought after ships in the game. Then you had the meme vote in 2021, and the MPUV pulled it off. And people were upset because it was indeed a meme vote. And then the next year, the Carrack won it again, because the Carrack is one of the most popular ships in the game. And I'm actually surprised, because when you go back and look at the numbers, I thought the Mercury Star Runner for sure won one, but it didn't. It came in second place twice, once in 2021 and once in 2022. And then the Corsair came out, and of course it can obliterate anything that goes in front of it. So of course it won. Now, the biggest threat to the Terrapin this year, honestly, it's the F8C. I thought people might go for the F7C because the F7C, more people own it. It's obvious that more people own it. However, the F8C is the new hotness. So it's very likely that the F8C just speeds past everything. But I think what you're going to have is, you're going to have like this old guard of Star Citizen, and then you're going to have the people that more so appreciate the new hotness. Neither one of them is wrong. Neither one of them is better than the other. But I think that's going to be the final battle, is old guard versus new hotness, and whoever like can garner the most, appreciation and bring more people to vote and stuff like that. I think that's who's going to win it. On this particular thing, I think the Terrapin is going to go all the way, because there's so many people that love the Terrapin, and I don't know the exact ownership numbers, but I would guess that more people own the Terrapin than own the F8C. And the reason I believe that is because it's the Terrapin at a certain point in time was cheaper than it currently is now. And I think a lot of people like it for reasons outside of gameplay. Whereas I think if the F8C had like 2 less guns, it wouldn't even like people wouldn't like it as much, right? So the F8C is more like it's a cool ship, but it has a lot of guns, and that's really why we like it. It's more about what it can do in the game. And whereas the Terrapin is like, it has some like ethereal reason why people like it, to the point where people don't even understand. There's people who are like, I don't even understand why people like the Terrapin. And that's okay. Like, I don't even understand why I like it so much. It's hard to even put into words why I like the Terrapin so much. But that's not even why I'm voting for the Terrapin. I'm not even voting for it just because I like it so much. Because there's tons of ships on this list that I like a lot. The 600i is one of my favorite ships, but I still wanted the Terrapin to win over it, right? And I like the 600i more than I like the Terrapin. But that's not what my voting consistency is about. My voting consistency was about who deserves the skins. And I think the Terrapin was my biggest one of trying to get a skin for. I wanted it to get to the final 4, and it did. So now after this, even if it loses going forward, I wouldn't be that upset. But yeah, that was the biggest one for me. I think I also wanted the 890 jump to win, but they ended up both being in the same category, which I did not like. I wish they were in different categories. I wish the 890 jump went against the Gladiator in the underdog division, but I guess that's just not what they decided to do. But yeah, I would have loved for the 890 jump to get a skin. I don't even own one, but I would have loved for it to get a skin. But yeah, those were the 890 jump, the Gladiator, and the Terrapin were my big 3 that I wanted to get skins. So one of them got a skin, and I'm good. I'm good with that. Yeah, but it's looking like it'll be. I mean, this is pretty much what I expected. I think my C1 pick went through. My Terrapin pick went through. My Reclaimer pick went through, and the F8C. So far, I mean, after my second guess, right? My first guess was C1, Terrapin, Reclaimer, and F8C. But then I switched it because it seemed like people were voting in a different way. But yeah, the switch had it C1, Terrapin, Vulture, F7C. But yeah, so yeah, I think it'll be C1 Terrapin, Reclaimer, F8C Lightning, and then the Terrapin will beat the C1, and then the F8C will beat the Reclaimer, and then it'll be Terrapin versus F8C, and that's the hardest one, I think, that out of all this stuff that's happening. I thought this one was going to be more hard fought, but it was not. I misunderstood how much people love the F8C Lightning, and I might still be doing that. But yeah, I think it'll be Terrapin versus F8C, and I'm actually excited for whichever one wins now that I own both. I got a skin for my Terrapin. That's all I wanted. A second skin for the Terrapin? Hey, I'm open to that. But I have a skin for my F8C Lightning as well. And chances are I'm gonna get a second F8C Lightning within the next 2 or 3 years, just by the sake of like upgrading ships to new ships that come out and whatever. Like I don't think I'll need to buy another ship in the future. Just like I didn't really buy the Terrapin, I just upgraded a ship to it. And I still have tons of credits, so it's, you know, but I do think they could pull enough out of me, especially considering that I'm a subscriber and that I like skins. I'll probably buy enough skins. I'm definitely going to stay subscribed because that's more so to support the game anyway. But I'll definitely buy some more skins. I'll probably buy like other stuff when it comes out, like I don't know, land claims or whatever. I don't know what else they'll have. Um, when the game comes out, I'll probably buy that stuff, and then also I'll probably buy, like I said, some more upgrades to ships, better ships, or ships that not necessarily better, but ships that fit my what I want to do in the game better. Like there's no medium science ship. There's no like there's certain things that just don't exist in the game yet. That if they existed, I wouldn't have other ships. I only have these other ships as kind of placeholders until those ships arrive. So yeah. So I think I'll end up getting a second F8C Lightning with that executive edition skin and all that stuff. But that'll probably be the last rank. I don't think I'll ever make it to Legatus Navium unless like for some reason I become a full-time YouTuber. Yeah, that would be the only way I would make it that high, because then it would just be I could do kind of a tax write-off for ships. Can you do that? Is that I'm pretty sure I might be able to do that. I wouldn't do it unless it was legal, of course, though. So I got to talk to a finance guy. So finance bros, reach out. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it for this one. Just wanted to kind of talk about like my thought process with these videos. These are fun videos. They're not supposed to really get into the weeds and stuff like that, but yeah, I understand it. It sucks when your ships lose. You know, like I said, a lot of my ships lost. Look at this. Look at this voting record. You can see this means this is the ship I voted for. Loss, 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 loss. Only what? 2 of the ships I voted for won out of 8? Two of the 8 I wanted to win. But I'm gonna be 4-0 on this one. I'm gonna be 4-0 on this one. Then I'm gonna be 2-0 on this one. And then I think I'm gonna pick the champ. So I'm not losing anymore. That first round is always the hardest round. But yeah, I get it. It sucks when your ship loses, but it's just ship showdown. It's just the skin. All these ships are gonna get some skins, and I honestly think they're gonna bring back the skin creator thing anyway, where you can like paint your ship, you know, a certain color and add things. I don't think it's coming anytime soon. Maybe 3-4 years from now, but yeah. So not a big deal. But anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for spending your time with us. I will see you in the next one. Peace. Shout out to the members.